everybody. Welcome back to Soulful Stimulation with your girl, the one you love to adore. I'm Chevelle Simone. Thank you for joining me today on IntellectualRadio.com, where we're streaming live all the time from 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I'm gonna just dive in because I got this guest, my Lord. I have my special guest here today. I'm so excited. This is my first guest on my show, and I did not want to kick off my first show without her. So if she wasn't gonna make it, I was gonna be going again by myself, girl. Yes, because she was gonna be my kickoff, and I'm gonna share with her why later on. She's gonna be very surprised, so she probably don't even remember this. But I want to talk about something today before I bring her on. My favorite verse and one of my favorite songs is by India Ari. And it says, you never know where life is going to take you. And you can't change where you've been. But today, you have an opportunity to choose. So I'm wondering what you're choosing to do today that will give your past a great slap. So now guess what, y'all? Every day we have to make a decision. We have to get our headspace together and make a choice. Like I always tell you guys, listen up. My opinion, but your decision. Make up your mind what you want to do. So how long are you going to choose to dream without movement? Are you ready to wake up and put a plan in place to make your first move? As a licensed certified life empowerment coach, and my guest that's here today, baby, she's better than me. I push to motivate people to their goals. I walk alongside them. Why take the time to tell everybody what you want to do and still be a nobody? You don't tell everybody what you want to do. You sound real good, but you ain't did nothing. So guess what? You're a nobody, right? So guess what? That was me. I was talkative. I talked too much. I had to make a choice to dream, wake up, dig deep, and pursue. And that's how I got here today on IntellectualRadio.com. Hey, listen, this was a dream. This is a choice. And I pursued it and I conquered it. And guess what? This is one thing that I believe that will not fail. Guess what? Because guess why? IntellectualRadio.com, the family here will not let me fail. He just told me that today. It's only one way to get out of here. Guess what? I'm not swimming with the sharks today on Illinois on IntellectualRadio.com. So listen, I'm a living testimony from tragedy to triumph. Raised in the projects by a single mother, never met my father. I was rejected, full of hurt, unloved, confused, and very, very, very bitter, just bitter and undecisive in all my decisions. Even my relationship couldn't be consistent because I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know my value. You know, it was painful, lonely, and very lonely, disappointing. I made everybody laugh, but I went home like, who am I? But now I'm soaring, and you can too. You have something to offer. You have something to give. You have something to do. And we are here to make sure you make the best move, the bold move to be the best you. So where's your stage? Lights, camera, action. We are here. My girl is here. My mentor is here. I wish y'all could see me in Radio Land. She is here. The great.
Oh, my goodness.
The amazing. The teacher of all teachers. Oh, the reacher that helped you reach. Come on here. My girl. Oh, my God. I am so excited today. She don't even understand. Michelle Akins.
Hey, Chevelle.
Oh my God, she is in the room.
Doing?
I know y'all jealous. All my friends, everybody in Facebook land, I know you're jealous. I got on one-on-one. I know you still walking down the halls in the valley like everybody running to her, can't get to her, but I have her. She is such an awesome woman of God. I'm gonna let her say a little bit about herself. I think I wanted to say it. And I shouldn't be saying that word, but because I remember when I met you. And I remember you told me who I was and why I existed. And it was something that the church, the four walls, did not or probably do not allow. And you said you have the spirit to make people laugh, or probably do not allow. And you said you have the spirit to make people laugh. And there was the first time, even being a minister, that someone ministered to me about laughter being a medicine and being healing to the soul. And I just thought I was just always the silly girl. But you told me that my laughter and how I come across and how I teach the word and how I minister to others is unique and not like others. And that I was going to speak to nations. That's what you said to me. You said you're going to speak to nations and you're going to heal nations with your laughter. And I am here.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now, and let me just hold your hand for a minute because I saw you get teary eyed. Because sometimes we need to hold each other's hands to remind them that I'm still with you. Okay. We may not get to see each other that often. You may be going to the nations, but I am still with you. Okay. All right.
I appreciate that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we're gonna go into, and you guys don't want to miss it. I have something called the Chevelle Simone Stimulation Sparks.
Ooh.
And before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you so people can know we're going to be expecting today. Today, the name of our show is Making Bold Moves While Revisiting Your Dreams.
All right. Well, thank you, Chevelle. I am very honored to be here. My name is Michelle Akins. I am the CEO and lead coach of Sepia Prime Communications and Coaching. As such, I too am a coach like you, but I enjoy stories and writing and provoking other people to live their dreams. And I use the word provoking because sometimes that's what it takes. Um, I am happily middle aged. I am not on anybody's hamster wheel. I am enjoying what I am doing, and I am doing what I enjoy. So, my life is, and I would say this is a great part of my life's work. My life work is to help people discover what's already in them, because we spend so much time placating others' needs and living with jobs and taking care of children and spouses and meeting obligations, that by the time we're 40 years old, if somebody asks you what you want, it'll take you about 3 days to figure it out, because you got to get through all of everybody else's stuff that you've been living with, dealing with. And so I get to my favorite people to coach are people over 50, because there is so much promise and potential there, but there is also a world that tells them your time is over. Go somewhere and sit down. And so I love being in the middle of those two things and just mixing it up until we create these lovely purpose-filled monsters that go change the world.
Wow. I'm wondering what made you choose that age group? Like, what made you choose the mature woman? Because I'm your girl. I'm not 50.
This is true. And I'll tell you what made me choose it. I lost a very important job, a job that was personally very important to me, and I turned 50. I have a master's degree in organizational leadership, and I looked for a job for 2 years. Nobody would hire me. I got 2 callbacks. And so, for somebody who had been very achievement oriented all her life, this not being able to, one, have my job when the magazine folded, but two, not to be able to just go and had an identity crisis. And for 2 years, like you, nobody really knew it, but I sat on my couch, alternately looking for jobs and being depressed. My doctor at the time, who's now my friend, said, if you come in my office like this again, I'm going to put you on meds.
Wow.
Yes. And so, but I was going through the motions. Happy face, going to church, making friends, having lunches. But I was suffering with the fact that I didn't know who I was anymore because I had failed. And at the end of that 2-year period, I remember getting a phone call and somebody asked me, how do you start a magazine? And I talked for 90 minutes to that former student about what I knew. And when I got off the phone, I felt like I had been awakened from a dream. I was like, God, what was this? Didn't hear any answer to that. What I heard in my heart was, what would you have wanted somebody to tell you 2 years ago? And I said, I would have wanted them to tell me that I still had value. There was something worthwhile in me, and I would want them to take me by the hand and help me find it. And what I heard was, so get up and go do that. And so I started my consulting firm at 50, who had been downsized out of jobs and were having their own identity crisis. And it grew from there. Few years later, I was working with a coach and she kept asking me, are you sure you're not supposed to be coaching? And I was kind of shady in my response. And I said, no, I don't want to listen to people's problems all day. And she said, well, you're doing it anyway. You're just not getting paid for it. So
I want to say that is truth.
and so I went back, and the kind of personality that I have, I did not take a weekend coaching session. I didn't even take a 6-month coaching session. I went back for about 18 months to be trained, certified, and credentialed by the International Coaching Federation as a professional coach. So I incorporated that into my business of consulting and coaching, depending on what people need. That's me.
Wow. So I guess I'm wondering, I'm 49. I need to get prepared.
Yes, you do.
Because anything, and COVID is going on, people. Anything can happen with your job. Because you've seen it. People, things are downsizing, things are closing, things are dissolving and diminishing.
They're going away.
They're going away. What are you going to do with your life? So how do people, and I'm not just talking about the mature crowd, how do we break the fear or even know what we want to do? How do we find our passion?
And that's the funny thing. You said you're not just talking about mature people. Here's the secret. I said my favorite group of people to work with are people over 50. I have more millennial clients than I do over 50. Because there is something in them that says, I don't want to wait for the gold watch. I want to figure out what's important to me and do it now. And it is, first of all, deciding that you're going to make yourself what it is that is inside of you a priority. I have a children's book coming out at the end of the month, maybe early next month. And it's about a little boy who gets made fun of because of his dreams. And what we all heard as children was, you can't make no money doing that. Do something practical. How you going to make? And I think it was Chris Rock's mother who said, you can't make no money acting a fool. And on the Tonight Show, he said, Ma, look.
I'm making money acting a fool.
And so, but as children, we are gradually taught to believe that enthusiastic, carefree part of us that has a dream is not practical. And so they say, yeah, put that away and go learn how to type, or put that away and just go to school. No, don't go to school. Find a husband. In my generation, find a husband, settle down, and you'll be good. And so now I think by the time you get to 40 and 49, and you are a prime example of that. You said how old you were. I ain't tell the people, but
49.
Look at you hosting a radio show. And if I might add, this is more suited to your outgoing personality than anything I have seen you do. How long have we known each other? A little minute.
Oh my God, it's over 12 years.
A little minute. Yes. And so I see you literally in your comfort zone at 49. But if you had told somebody at 21 you wanted to host a radio show, what would they have told you? Girl, go sit down somewhere.
Go to school.
And so at this juncture, one of the reasons I love working with people over a certain age is because they get to mine what is in themselves and find a treasure.
I just feel like people always, family, mentors from school, what we call them counselors, when you go to your counselor, they already have a formula for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we seem to follow that formula even with fear.
Mm-hmm.
So why we can't create a formula, create a plan for something that we see in us and do it with fear? Can we live our purpose in fear? Or do we break the fear to live our purpose? And it reminds me of bold moves. How do we can we make a bold move in fear? Can we do we need to kill the fear to make the bold move? How do we you know what I'm trying to say?
You know what makes the move bold? Is because you're scared.
Wow.
That's what makes it a bold move. If it was easy and light as a feather and then anybody could do it. But it does take boldness to stare your fears down and say, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do it with my knees knocking, but I'm going to do it anyway.
So your driving point, your purpose for this was because of what you was going through with losing a job. But how was your environment, your surroundings, like the naysay? You know, we got the people.
But you know what? I had two very close confidants at the time. And but I guess about 18 months into it, one of them said, okay, girl, you got to do something. Starting to sound like a Shy Light song.
Yes.
Yes. And so you have your people, but that was probably the biggest turning point that I've experienced because it changed my trajectory. It put me where I was supposed to be. And many times we don't realize that because when something devastating or earth shaking happens to us, we think, oh no, I'm finished. No. I heard somebody say a closed door is also direction.
Wow.
You can't go through it. It's closed. Got to go somewhere else. And so that event helped shift me into where I was supposed to be. It was necessary, but it was profitable.
Yeah. And I feel like this here on IntellectualRadio.com. I was telling somebody, I said, oh my God, I feel like a diamond and I'm set and I'm positioned. I do, because when I think, I love your book, girl, that little boy dreaming. Let me tell you about that book.
Yes.
When you posted it on Facebook, I want to encourage everyone to get this book because you know you were 8, 9 years old with a dream that everybody said that you cannot do and you won't do. You need to go back and revisit that dream.
That's right.
I had to muster up some stuff to say, this is what I'm going to do. Not only that, Michelle, I had to be bold enough to say, you ain't working for me. I'm coming to IntellectualRadio.com. Oh, I ain't scared to see it. I know y'all didn't want to hear that. But listen, honey, I ain't got time. You know, I ain't dying slow. I got this together. I had to be bold enough.
Yes.
Ain't about you being a man of God. Ain't about none about nothing. I believe everything is a divine order.
Yes.
I believe when it's time for you to make a bold move and to make a step, divine order comes in play to show you. Now, one thing about God is just like a husband. A man that found of a wife found of a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Guess what? He can find whatever he wants to. You choose as the woman. Right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
An opportunity came for me.
Yes.
It was up to me to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was a bold move, Michelle.
Yes, it was.
On a Sunday,
yes, it was.
when the show was airing on Tuesday. Listen. I got set like a diamond. Do y'all hear me out there? I had 2 days to do a show. Y'all would not believe Michelle is over here laughing. Let me tell you something. Y'all know I'm spontaneous. Y'all love to say I'm Prophet Chevelle. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you don't need a prophet. You need to make a move. Why everybody got to speak a word in your life? Did somebody speak this word in your life?
Which one? Look, that I was going to lose my job at 50. I wish somebody hadn't said that to me.
Right. But you know what? If somebody would have said that to you, you would have probably tried to do something to keep your job.
That's right.
What did you think when you lost your job at 50? My 401k.
Done. Done. But as it turns out, there are whole new chapters. Many of us are closing up the book too soon. And you know why? What was it that opportunity meets preparation?
Wow.
That is what happened with you. Because so many of us are, one day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to do this. We are so busy thinking about getting ready that when it's time, we ain't ready. So you need to be ready so that when the opportunity presents itself, you just step into it.
Right. And not be willing to take anything.
Mm,
I'm not scared to say it.
I
My
know
name's
you're
Chevelle
not.
Simone, rocking this microphone on IntellectualRadio.com. Listen, willing to take everything
Not
or anything.
rocking the microphone,
Rocking the
Chevelle, for real. For real.
Listen, I'm sitting on the throne on this microphone. Listen,
We need some
Willing-
wick up back.
right. Willing to take anything
Yes.
because of what I saw. But look at the presentation. God said, I got more. Honey, you ain't going to get better than IntellectualRadio.com. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
We will help you maintain and feed your brain. You better get ready. Listen, with that being said,
Yes, ma'am.
401k, all your benefits, come on, at 50. And if you don't have that outside life insurance, you have to do all these physicals over to get
Fortunately, I had a husband who had a job
who is my
with
friend?
insurance and benefits.
Right.
So I imagine I do remember him kind of looking at me, little like, what's she gonna do today? I'm getting ready to go. Okay. I know I probably scared him a few times during those 2 years because there is, I'm sure, a helplessness that he and the other people that I let in knew that I was experiencing. So I didn't have those concerns. All of my concerns were about inside.
Right.
Who am I now? If I am not this, or that, then who am I? And that is what people deal with when there's a devastating loss, when they lose their job or a spouse or something happens. That if you have not built up those systems that make you, you start to wonder, well, who am I really? Maybe I'm nobody without this.
So I'm thinking, this is just Chevelle thinking, my opinion, your decision. I'm just thinking, 50 years old, lose your job is 3 things you're going to do. Take care of them grandkids.
Don't have any.
I'm just saying. I'm talking to my viewers out there.
Okay, like
Throw yourself into the church or be that housewife. Come on. Who want to do that? What is inside of you that you can already be thinking about, even though you haven't lost your job, to make a bold move and revisit your dreams? What are you dreaming? Is it a scary dream? Girl, it could be a scary dream. Are we scared to succeed?
Most of us know more failures than we do people who have dreamed and succeeded. So we become comfortable with this low level right here. Yeah. Fear of success is a real thing.
Now, did you center yourself before you did this? Did you focus like, what? How does this come? Like, you lose your job, then like, oh, I'm gonna do this. How did it? What did the preparation look like?
Preparation for what? For being unemployed?
Let me tell you, man. Michelle Akins, before she anything is a teacher, you know you gotta prepare.
I did not prepare for. See, there are some things that come that you can't prepare for. And so I'll tell you what I did. For 2 years, I sat on the couch. I watched Cooley High. Oh, yeah, I watched Cooley High. I wrote a screenplay. I sat on the couch some more. I struggled with who I was, but outwardly, I kept doing the things that I'd always done. Like, it's like being in the Matrix. You are plugged in to what you think is your identity and going through the motions. But there is something inside of you that if you don't stop and pay attention to it, you will be on your deathbed saying, I used to wonder. I wonder why I didn't. Yeah.
Regrets.
My dad used to say the graveyard is the richest place in the world because that's where all of the dreams and good ideas go eventually if they're not acted on. The graveyard.
Where does your strength lie?
In my faith.
I like that. We are IntellectualRadio.com, where we are the station that feeds your brain and help you maintain. I am going to take a break. We're always streaming live 24/7. We have over 50 intellectual radios. I am number 51, and I'm Earl's favorite. Yeah. So you can always listen in to us on IntellectualRadio.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Chevelle Simone STEM Sparks. I have a couple of questions from a girl here, Dr. I'm going to call you Doctor today. Do you mind being the doctor? Dr. Michelle Akins, and her hubby is here, my good friend Nate. I love you, Nate Akins. Thank you for letting your wife come outside today.
I'm here for a purpose. There's a calling on my life. He's working through me. I'm sure no longer worthless. Now I know who I am. What you get is what you see. It's joy. It keeps me strengthened every day of my life. He's watching over me. Faithful. Take nothing for granted. New life, my health, and brand new mercies. I'm celebrating. Celebrating life. I'm celebrating. Oh, I'm celebrating. Celebrate life. I'm celebrating. Ooh, I'm celebrating. Celebrating life. I'm celebrating. Oh, I'm celebrating. Celebrate life. Celebrate. I'm strong. I am a victor. I am one with the Lord. I live from day to day, but a little bit wiser, rejoicing in the Lord. Always I'm celebrating. Celebrating life. I'm celebrating. Yes, I'm celebrating. Celebrate life. Celebrating. Oh, celebrating. Celebrating life. I'm celebrating. Oh, yes, I'm celebrating. Celebrating life. Celebrating. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. I know that there's something that the Lord has done for you that you can praise Him for. Get on up and let's give Him glory. Celebrate for what He's done for you. Let's celebrate. Celebrate. Let's celebrate. God has great things in store for you. Let's celebrate. 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 Be grateful. Celebrate. Let's celebrate.
Hey, welcome back with your girl, Chevelle Simone. You're with the Soulful Stimulation at IntellectualRadio.com, where we're streaming live 24/7. You can reach us at 708-223-8993. If you're looking to become part of our family. Oh, we have a gorgeous family here. Oh, honey, don't you feel the comfort in the room?
Oh, I do.
Oh, honey, listen, we're warm, we're loving, we're kind. We are teachers and reachers, we're mentors, and we're helpers of one another here at IntellectualRadio.com, where your voice will be heard and can be heard, and your opinion duly noted.
Noted.
So you can reach out to me on my Facebook page or message me or call me at 312-838-6077. We would love for you to come here and join our wonderful family. Join this family reunion we got going on here, especially here with my girl, Miss Michelle Akins is in the building. And her husband, Nate, is around here working somewhere. We want to say we love you, Nate. We appreciate you. You always been a great help and support in my life. I want to do my little quick picks with you today. Okay, stepping or line dancing,
Stepping,
texting or talking,
talking,
cake or pie.
plain pound cake.
Really?
Yes.
Who you love your pound cakes from?
I have not found anybody, although there is one. There's a soul food restaurant in Country Club Hills. They make the best pound cake.
Can you like
I
really
have-
taste the butter though?
Yes.
I love a good pound cake.
Yes. Oh my
Nobody
goodness.
makes them like the old school mothers
See
now.
there, see, yeah, but some of
Mm.
the pound cakes would be dry from some of them old school mothers. I'm just
Really?
saying,
We want a moist
I
one.
didn't, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Flavor cream girl.
yes.
Who?
Hazelnut
Yes, you are my sister.
or caramel.
Yes.
Mhm.
I always have me a caramel swirl, extra cream and sugar.
Yes.
Now, if I do hazelnut, I don't use sugar at all.
yeah.
Do you use
No,
sugar?
you don't need to.
You
with
don't need
hazelnut,
You
and
do?
even with caramel. Although I'm doing almond milk now, and I like oat milk. It's got a really good texture.
Now, let me tell you something.
Hmm?
That oatmeal is good. Oat milk, guys, is good for your belly,
Oh,
especially
okay.
at my age. Oh, yes, Lord. Oh, yes, Lord. You know, all these things be happening when you get a certain age and you go to the doctor. He like, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just lactose intolerant. Oh, and I'm like, I've been eating cereal and milk every morning, looking at conjunction, junction, what's your function?
Mhm.
So now all of a sudden,
Yes.
you know, we got all these little new changes.
Well,
Okay, smooth jazz or R&B?
oh, that's a hard one. Only because I like Motown R&B. Really? Yes.
What's your favorite song?
Beauty's Only Skin Deep by the Temptations.
Never heard of it.
See what I mean?
That's why we need you 50-year-old people.
Mhm.
Never heard of it, girl.
It's by the Temptations.
My goodness, we're going to have to get that played one day. Okay, great. Choir or praise team?
Ooh. See,
I love a good choir.
I do too. And this is what my struggle was. I love Richard Smallwood, but he has so many people on the stage. I think he technically counts as a choir.
Now,
choir.
My choirs, when
Mhm.
I think of choir, I think about Orlando Draper,
Okay.
Hezekiah Walker,
Okay.
Richard Smallwood. They can sing, but them
Mhm.
spread it out like that, they always been a praise team.
Okay. All right then.
Choirs got robes, remember?
That is true.
Mhm.
So I
The
guess I'm a
robes,
praise team
right?
girl.
You're
Okay.
praising. Okay. Favorite day of the week and why?
Friday. Because you know what? Actually, they're all, well, I'll say favorite day of the week is Friday because Friday was typically the last work day of the week. And now that I work for myself, it is the day that I am most likely to, when they open back up, sneak out and go to a movie by myself or spend the whole day writing. I don't take clients, even though I love my clients. Friday is the day where I do exactly what I want to do.
Now, my sister Shalise, she wanted me to ask you. This is her favorite question: Netflix and chill or a dinner and a movie? And she wanted me to ask you that because of your age group. She's in your age group now.
Mhm, mhm. Netflix and chill, I will wind up going to sleep. So dinner and a movie.
Great. Okay, good. Sounds like her. Okay. So what stimulates you?
Stories. I love hearing others' stories. And you know how sometimes you may have people who lead or who counsel, but it's a job. I actually like the stories. There's so much variety. There's so much depth when you listen to a person. When you just listen to their stories, that's stimulating to me.
When you listen to a person's story, are you learning more about them? Or what is it that you're like? Because I go dead after a minute.
Yeah, okay. I'm learning about them, but I'm also watching their inflections as they tell the stories. When their voice changes, I'm watching their eyes change when they tell something, they say something that they've never said out loud before, and they learn something new about themselves. It's awesome.
So coaching, you know, I'm not the best coach now. I'm just an empowerment coach. I don't like to walk through the dark places. I just want to
Okay.
empower you.
Okay.
I just want to motivate you.
Mhm.
You take journeys with people.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you take journeys.
Oh, yes.
You know, that will wear me out No, I'm just being very serious. I'm tired of journeys
Okay.
because I had my own journeys.
Yes.
And I just want to be honest. Um, Sometimes when people tell me what they're going through, I'm like, step out of it. Because I feel
Yeah.
like I've been through stuff the longest than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I just want to snatch them out, and I really can't. But I've noticed with you, you take journeys with people. And I like that about your life because when you said, oh, my book was a playwright
Yeah.
before a book, I'm like, well, she done took a whole dang on journey.
And this is the interesting thing about that. I wrote that book as a bedtime story for my son because, I was an older parent. I was probably 31 or so when I had my son. And I had seen all of the things that come against Black boys. I had read The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. I was that kind of young mother. And I thought to myself, how am I going to motivate this Black man child? I mean, when I was pregnant, I read the stories of David from the Bible to him in my womb. But when he was born, I thought he's going to need something that gives him permission to dream. And so I wrote the story for him. I actually changed the name just a little bit. I didn't name it the character Nate. I named him Nathan so that he would believe it was a real story. Because if it was his name, it would just be mama making up something. And so I named the character Nathan. But when he was about 6 years old, the Lord said, create a screenplay, create a play. And so I did. And I took it to Sheldon Lane at Kennedy King, who was the theater director at the time. It's like, hey, I'm supposed to make this a play. He said, okay, you need a script. So I went home and I wrote the script. And my son, who is a professional actor today, had his first acting role in that play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So you planted him. See that?
But let me just tell you, there is a passage of scripture that people, I think, say it without thinking about what it means. It says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he won't depart from it. That doesn't mean I'm going to raise you the way I was raised. It means discover who that child is and provide opportunities for that gift to grow. That is what it meant to me.
Do we know how to discover?
Well,
as parents,
I think we should.
How do we discover?
We should be students of our children. We should look at what they're playing with, which toys they gravitate to. My daughter never wanted dolls. She wanted to play with building blocks. And when she was 6 years old, she told the children's pastor who was trying to put the DVR or video together, she said, you need the blue cord. She already knew about that. Well, now she produces videos and has built her own rigs and things to carry cameras. And so if we pay attention to what our children are playing with, what they gravitate to, what they seem to excel at, and then we ask God for insights, what can this be? And provide opportunities for them to grow in those areas.
Wow. And what I like about this whole dynamic of what you have created, because I think about your husband, because I'm close to your husband too.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own business.
Mm-hmm. Sis.
Businesses. Bring me them shoes out the garage, Nate. Don't play with me. I always tease you and say, I think me and your husband is running neck and neck with businesses because we've always creating. We're not afraid. But I look at how, wow, your children are seeing examples of what they can do at 50. Yes. And what's great about them, they're already in it.
Mm-hmm. That is one of the important things about pursuing your dreams. You give your children permission to dream. And I think that we're living in a world now where we have taken away our kids' dreams. We've told them, you need to make money. You need to get money. And so in a sense, we've almost said, by any means necessary, become financially successful. Well, okay, we sell drugs. We get money. We'll, and so we have created this thing inside of our children that doesn't dream, that isn't carefree. And they grow up to be adults who are angry, Because we are not providing the examples of what it looks like to dream and to courageously pursue what is in you.
Right. And that's one thing I love about you. I want to get into the bold moves right quick. In your bold move conferences, man, your children was front and center supporting you. But let me say something. Even though it was your event, Michelle, I saw you supporting them. I loved it.
Mhm.
Like it was a family thing. You know,
Mhm.
even your husband, who's always my guy busy. No, he was in the room.
Yeah.
And it was like a family event, a family journey, adventure,
Yes.
loving, kind, helpful, and everybody knew how to do everything. It's
Yes.
like you had a locomotive train. Yeah, running. I mean, it was
Yeah, they'll
wonderful.
run over you.
Tell Let's talk about that event. I know it's closure to that event. I'm hoping we can have a reunion to that event because somebody needs that event. I was not at that age group, but I was a vendor there. It was so helpful to me to learn, to grow, um, to submit myself. I think that's our problem too. We
Mhm.
won't make bold moves because we won't submit ourselves to teaching because we know everything.
Mhm. That is true. And we've seen that in businesses too. But we had our final Bold Move event. Let's see, this is March. We had it last October and it was virtual. And I sense that my time for doing that event is done because I had the first Bold Move event in 2012. I had the last one in 2020. It is now time for me to make the bold moves that I've been teaching people to make. So, yes,
What was that? What was the main goal for that event? What was that event all about?
that event was to help people find the courage to make their bold moves. Listen, some people are going to lose jobs. And the only way that you will be able to survive is to be able to look inside of yourself if nobody hires you. Now, if you get another job, wonderful. But some of us have got to find a way to look inside, see what God has put there to help us to not just survive, but to thrive, and then muster up the courage to do it. That's always what the Bold Move events were about. And we had finance people, we had money people, but in our last live Bold Move event, we had therapists.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And that was in 2019. We had a therapist, we had uh, different people in both secular and spiritual, because bold moves happen from the inside out. And if your insides are all confused and in knots and you don't know who you are, well, we got to deal with that before you try to make any
Oh,
steps.
so a bold move can start with the soul.
Mm. Yeah.
Let's eat that up.
Yes. The place of the mind, will, emotions, where a lot of our pain resides. Yeah, let's start there.
So let's talk. I love this.
Well, yes, I see you shifting positions.
Yes. Because, this is soulful stimulation now.
Yes, it is.
It's food for your soul. It's not just good conversation, it's impartation.
Okay.
And it's one of the things we do here at IntellectualRadio.com. Um, we want to help. And you have to be open
Yes, you do.
to get help. I want to dive into that. Um, I think two things happens here. And I'm just going to talk about myself. I remember my divorce, my first one, and you called me, girl. How you doing? Remember that day?
Mm-mm.
Girl, you call me. Girl, how you doing? I went to big think about that. I'm just talking like pebbles. You say, honey, that's a book. And you need to name that book. Restoring. He restored my soul. You remember? I got the notes at
That I
home.
remember. That part I remember.
And you helped me through that because my soul. And you said you need to write it. in this moment while you're feeling what you're feeling. See, I missed my bold move. I'm gonna have to muster up all that stuff again just to write it. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
So
Understand.
we can make a bold move from the soul or from our emotions, or help me.
Well, it starts. The courage to pursue a bold move starts there. And if the soul is fractured, or in our emotions, we're torn up, because a lot of people get confused when we start talking about soul. So I'll put it in terms that you can understand. If our emotions are unstable or are unsteady, if we have fears, if we have doubts about who we are, making a bold move, and I have seen people do it. We have been in places where you see people attempting to make bold moves, but it's all bravado. You know, that stuff that you put over the facade that you put over to make it seem like you're ready and you're full of courage, but really you're just taking up a dare. I bet I can. I bet I can. And it is fleshly. Bold moves happen from the inside out. That's a word. They happen from the inside out. And that is why, and knowing where I was when I established that first bold move event, it was because I had become acquainted with what it felt like to not understand who you are. First, you got to be put back together on the inside before you can start talking about starting a business or writing a book or any of that. Although I do advocate journaling when you are going through something. My first book, Not Just Any Kind of Woman, came out of my prayers and devotions. I didn't even realize I was writing a book. And so I advocate that, because that is when your emotions are raw. You can see and looking at those words in black and white have a way of clarifying what is really happening. Because see, now it's not in your head. Now you are looking at how you've described your emotions, how you describe how you feel. Now we can move. Now we can move forward. Don't look at me in that tone.
That's deep. So I might already have a book in my journal. You hear that, ladies?
Go back and look.
You might want to go back and revisit your journal. Not only that, I think if we go back and revisit, we can see how we've grown.
Yes.
And have made some small bold moves.
Yes. Yes. For some people, getting up in the morning is a bold move. It is. Depending on where you are, that could be the challenge.
How do we celebrate our bold moves?
You have to have people around you who appreciate what it takes for you to have made that bold move. Can I give you just a little snippet of something I tell people?
Let's do it.
You got 3 circles of people in your life. In one of our courses that we teach, we talk about rewriting the script. 3 circles of people who are important to you. You have the people in your sphere of influence. They may never even meet you, Chevelle. You got them. They may be on social media someplace, or they may know people that you know. They're in your sphere of influence. Then you have other people who are acquainted with your shell. They know how you look. They know what you do, but they don't know why. And then you have people who are acquainted with your substance. You don't need a whole lot of people there. But those are the people who can challenge you on why you are not making your bold moves, and who are aware of what it took for you to finally make one. Those are the people you celebrate with. And you celebrate whether it is eating cotton candy and popcorn at home or dressing up and painting the town.
I got a friend at home eating some popcorn right now. I know he better bring me my salt and vinegar popcorn up here. Before I leave here, you are with Chevelle Simone, rocking the microphone over here on IntellectualRadio.com with Soulful Stimulation. We are so glad that you joined us today. I am happy. I'm ecstatic. I think I want to make some bold moves, and I think bold moves can be done whether you are fearful, whether you're not, but just have the courage to fail or soar.
That's right.
It doesn't matter.
Because you fail forward.
Right.
When you fail, you get insight for your next move.
Yes. Did you hear that, Shalise? Talking to my big sister now.
Okay.
Did you hear that? I love this because nothing beats a failure but a try. And we don't have to be the little engine that keeps saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Just do it. Be a Nike. Be a Nike and just do it. What you think about that?
I like the little engine.
You like the little engine?
Yeah.
No, I can't be all day.
To go up a hill. And sometimes we do have to talk ourselves into, I think I can do this. I'm going to try anyway. And maybe not those words, but yeah.
I just can't. I did that before.
Okay.
I'm just talking about me.
Yeah,
I did it for 5 years.
I know. But look at where it got you. Boom. Come on, little engine.
Come on, little engine. Chicka, 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 chicka. Come on, let's do the chicken. Come on, girl. Chicka, 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 chicka. Woo-hoo! Come on, little engine that could. All right, I'm with the other little engine that could over here. I'm with the other little engine that could over here, Michelle Akins. I am so glad that you decided to join me today. I think it was purposeful. Busted out. We busting out on the phone. Hey. I'm so glad that you was the first one to bust out with me.
Oh my!
I wanted to talk about being bold. I wanted to talk about being brave. I wanted to talk about having courage and being beautiful all at the same time. I ain't wearing triple D's for nothing. Listen, I'm ready for this. I'm true to this, okay? So we're so glad that you joined us on today. We're not going to keep you long. You can call us at 708-223-8953 here at IntellectualRadio.com, where we're streaming live all the time, 24/7. We have over 50 intellectual radio stations, Michelle. Guess what?
Wow.
Your girl over here is what?
51.
51. You better ask somebody. Hey, we feed your mind all the time. We feed your brain, and we're not ashamed to maintain what we do here at IntellectualRadio.com. We're so glad that you joined us. Give us a call here at 708-223-8953, or give me a call at 312-838-6077 if you want to join our wonderful, beautiful family. We're so glad that you joined us on today with my girl, Michelle Akins. She will be back, y'all. She will be back. Probably talking about something else. What up? What's up, though? My boys are coming in the building. My other family members coming in the building. So I'm going to have to move it along on this microphone. No, I ain't taking my time. Nothing. I'm running this microphone. You don't tell me what to do. That's my friend coming in the building. He's coming up next to let you know how to find what you need to do out here. He's helping all the ex-cons. Hey, listen, if you listen, if you got an ex-con that needs some help, you need to stay right here on IntellectualRadio.com, where my boy gonna be telling you what to do to get them cuffs off you. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go. Earl, thank you so much for having me today. Join us every Tuesday. It's like a Saturday because, you know, we don't work for no clock no more. So every day feel like a weekend. Hey, 708-223-8953 here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we're streaming live 24/7. You can join your girl, Chevelle Simone, your Soulful Stimulator, every Tuesday from 6 to 7. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great day.
I'm here for a purpose. There's a calling on my life. He's working through me. I'm sure no longer worthless. Now I know who I am. What you get is what you see. It's joy. It keeps me strengthened every day.